uSports, Central, maybe the very best game just because the meaning and the emotion into it, Charles, was the championship game, the 6A boys game, because we've broke it down in every way you can. Cleveland and Hobbs, every reporter from every different city, had their input on this one, and finally it was all presented in front of us, played out, and in the end, the Hobbs Eagles, I just got flack for that, by the way, earlier.
They don't like you.
The Hobbs Eagles get it done as they beat the Cleveland Storm. And so Titletown, right? Yeah, Hobbs.
It is Titletown. It's hard to debate it. 17 overall titles for Hobbs. Coach Smith's first title as a coach. He won one as a player, I believe 2 as a player. So he's known as a winner down there. But the game itself. So you have a Hobbs Eagle team. They love to press. They love to force the tempo. And Cleveland withstood a lot of that pressure. They slowed the game down just enough to make Hobbs a little bit uncomfortable, got back into the game, couldn't pull it out at the end. But Ryan Jones, we talked about off air, normally a sharpshooter. Didn't make a lot of those open shots that we're so used to seeing. I don't know if it's because he was fatigued from running around with that Hobbs pressure, but all in all, great final game.
He struggled to shoot it, and there was a couple of points where if he knocked down wide open threes, Cleveland will go ahead and pull ahead, especially at the end when Kelvin Jones is fouled out of the game, and it was just a struggle festival for Cleveland. You see, very emotional, obviously, at the pit. That place was packed, by the way. It was so emotional, Charles, because Cleveland probably feels like they let the game slip away. They had it at the end to win when Kelvin Jones was fouled out. Andre Foster had fouled out for Hobbs. I'm pretty sure with 28 seconds left, that play was designed to go to Marcus Williams.
No doubt.
Justin Davis, I don't think, was supposed to handle the ball, but it was almost a 5-second call, so Williams throws it into Justin Davis. Yeah. Justin Davis tried to get it to Ryan Jones, who then had to run away from him because he was face guarded. And so Justin Davis tried to run the play. Trey Nelson comes up with the play of the game on 20 seconds, and he gets an easy lay-in with, I think, under 13 seconds left to go, and that's how Hobbs wins the game. But it was wonderful how it went back and forth. And I'll tell you this, Hobbs fans traveled fantastic. They had a great crowd on hand at the pit, probably 5,000.
The crowd was lights out. I mean, they had the cheerleaders there, the band was there, the mayor probably was there. Everybody in Hobbs was there on Saturday, so good turnout. Excuse me, but Cleveland.
You all right there?
Cleveland, I'm getting choked up like the kids. Cleveland.
Oh, that was a shot.
No, they have nothing to hang their hat at. I mean, they played a good game. They played a team that blew everyone out. They blew everyone out, and they made Hobbs work for this game. So Cleveland getting it done. I thought they just couldn't pull it away.
Trey Nelson was the difference in this one. Every single time Cleveland had something going, Trey Nelson stopped it, right? So, for example, Trey Nelson at the very beginning of the game scored the first 7 points for Hobbs. He accounted for the first 11 points off of 2 assists. He had 23 points in total. Cleveland comes back and takes the lead under a minute, Charles. In fact, this is another stat. The lead change was 4 times under a minute. Cleveland takes the lead for the first time since the beginning of the game. Trey Nelson hits a 3 to go back up by 2.
He's their floor guy.
He got the steal at the end of the game to really seal everything. Trey Nelson was the man of the hour, no doubt about it.
Well, he's their blanket, right? When everything's going well, he's clicking, he's running the team, he's running the show. When things start to get out of just disoriented and they don't know what's going to happen, Trey Nelson takes over. He made the clutch shots when they needed it. He made clutch passes when they needed it. They played a good he was the defender who locked up a lot of the Ryan Joneses, the Maboobs or whatever. This is a very aggressive guard. He's only, 5'10", maybe?
We've talked about Trey Nelson through the year, too, because we knew he was good.
Yeah, we knew.
But he really showed that he's MVP of the tournament because he had 20-plus points in all 3 games in the pit. I think, hands down, he's MVP just because of what he did in the championship.
Not just 20-plus points, over 5 assists in every game, over 5 rebounds in every game. So the kid can play. He is their all-everything. Yes, I like Kelvin Jones because the big fella, he's improved so much from his beginning when we first saw him, 2 years ago to where he's at now. But Trey Nelson, he's the engine that makes this team go, and he put on a full show for the state tournament time.
He was fantastic. Hobbs was fantastic. Cleveland, it's you know how I picked them all year, Charles. So it was emotional for them. And Brian Smith, what a wonderful year. I think they can't hold their heads down though because it was such a well-played game on both sides that you left it all out on the court, and it ended up being a monster championship game. So.
Well, that's all you want as a coach. When you talk to your kids, you say, hey, if you give it all you have, if you leave it all out on the floor, let the chips fall wherever they may. Because you can't control every aspect, but you can control attitude and effort, and that's what they did. They played well, they played hard. They just didn't have enough at the end to get Hobbs. But guess what? They'll be back next year.
Let's finish here on state championship moments and what you're going to remember, Charles, mostly throughout this state tournament. What is it?
I want to say, I'm not going to go with Albuquerque High first. I want to go with Hobbs and their following. How you could feel the momentum of that Hobbs train after every win. You know, first day you go against West Mesa, they slap them around a little bit. Then they go against Rio Rancho, and they put a good little slapping on Rio Rancho. So then you could feel the buzz. Like, you knew that they were aiming for that state title. You knew everyone at Hobbs was going to be up here Saturday, and they didn't disappoint. That was one of the moments that stood out to me.
I think Sam Cruz is going to stick out to me. Sam Cruz kind of put a Corbin Walkie-esque performance in the second half for Sandy to get involved and almost upset Cleveland. They probably should have. Cleveland held on in double overtime. It's just a fun game. And then also Brady Patterson, as bad as he played against Valley, missing a lot of shots, comes back, puts up 20 points and a game winner right before the buzzer. That really sticks out to me. A lot of fun games throughout the whole week, but those two memories will stick. And then I'll say Trey Nelson Steele at the end.
What about
is the capital.
Gallup boys and girls both being in the Final Four? The entire town and city of Gallup traveling here to support
I love
them.
it when the Bengals are that far because it makes the atmosphere so much better. And how about how quiet Espanola Valley was in the championship? In the semifinal, because you know
they didn't have a chance.
Centennial just shut them down.
out.
Centennial seemingly won 2 road games in the pit to win the championship.
Well, maybe now the Cruces fans will start to jump on the bandwagon because, like it or not, Cruces, that's your best team down there, and they're going to be good for a while, in my opinion.
They're going to be in 5A one more year, and they're going to jump to 6A. So that's it for 3 and Out. Come on back, and we'll give you our all-tournament team right here on uSports Central.